Hello and welcome to a discussion of the changes to SCM Content Machine Next for the year 2020 and the month of December. As always, you can have a read of what the changes were by going to the Read Changelog button here. But I'm going to discuss some of the big changes for last month. Firstly, a new feature to the article creator. We now have the reuse content cache option. When you run a content task and it finishes, you'll see the appearance of this green cache label. If you click on this, it will actually take you to the location of the content cache on your hard drive. Previously, every time you ran a task, it would clear this cache and re-download all the content again. However, if you leave this toggle on, it's going to save you a bit of time by reusing the content cache that exists on your hard drive. Just a word of warning with the cache is that you can't insert content that hasn't been cached. For example, if you choose to insert some Instagram or some YouTube videos, but you didn't enable that when you first created the cache, when you reuse the task and try and insert videos or Instagram posts, because they weren't originally downloaded and they don't exist in the cache, when it comes to inserting them, you get blank, non-existing inserts. The only way to fix this is just to turn off your cache and rerun your task and re-enable your cache later once the task has finished running. So now here's a small but important change for those of you using custom templates. In your file extension, you must add the dot to the extension now. Previously, SCM Content Machine Next did this for you, but in the newest update, it no longer does it. So it's a simple matter of going back to your older templates and just adding that dot symbol. You'll notice this is a problem because once you create your articles, it's missing the file extension. So the problem is with your custom templates, they need to be edited. Now, one of the biggest new feature additions to SCM Content Machine is this Scrape Web Pages tool. And what's important about this is it uses JavaScript. So since its last release in November, a couple of new feature additions have been added. So now when we scroll down, there is a new URL macro code. So you can insert the original URL of the page that was downloaded. Furthermore, down in the file name string, got a couple of additional macros that you can use in there. And once again, URL has been added. Going back up to the element selection, so I'm going to go pick an element on the page. The buttons here have been changed. So the first thing is, and I'll need to add another element here, you can now change the order that elements are run. And this is important because you might want to click on a particular section first. And because it runs from left to right, it might be important for you to do the click first and then grab the data next. So you can do this by changing the order. Next to that, we have the Select Parent Container button. So at the moment, I've selected this text. If I click on this button, it's going to select the parent of this element, which is this. If I click again, it's going to go up one more level. As you can see, it's found more content. Another new feature to the web scraper is inside the filter box. We now have the ability to wrap every line of text with our own tags. So in this example here, we're using paragraph tags to wrap our lines, because when you select to download just the inner text, and I'm going to insert the macro code here. Normally, if you don't have wrapping, it's just going to insert this text. But if I go up a parent, and we go back to the macro preview, we see that every single line that's been downloaded by the inner text is now wrapped in a paragraph text for us. So once again, if I delete the wrap lines, maybe wrap it with this, each line gets wrapped in those square tags. Another small but useful change is every time you select an element, it displays the number of items it found. For example, if I want to select all the paragraph tags on the page, I just type in P. As you can see, it's found 3. Likewise, another example, maybe list items. 151 list items have been found. Now the sample display box only shows you a certain number of characters, but if you go down to the macro output area, you can see what the actual output is. So that rounds up the changes for December. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, info@seocontentmachine.com. Thank you.